Guys, it looks like it has been a coincidence that two players that Arsenal is interested in on the list of the strikers and midfielders respectively have come out and really spoken out about their transfers to Arsenal allegations. All stories being put out into the media. For those that really went ahead to watch the response of Alexandre Isak, you saw to it that it was really inclining so much the side of Newcastle and not really hinting onto leaving Newcastle, pointing out that he's really excited, all very happy to stay at Newcastle. And there is nothing that he went ahead to obviously put out to show to it that she's really excited to see to it that they join or he joins Newcastle. And I gave you my reason as to why he went ahead to speak like that. And Bruno Guimarães has again spoken today on the same day after this guy spoken, that is Alexandre Isak. Bruno Guimarães has come out and obviously spoken about his transfer links to Arsenal. And guess what? He says he's excited. So, Bruno Guimarães is excited to be linked to Arsenal. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys and where are you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. It's my like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Wataru Endo in the mix, and I'm going to be bringing you the final squad of England that's going to be playing in the Euros, and obviously the manager speaking out on why he's going to drop Jack Grealish and James Madison. By the way, at the look of things, the Euros are starting 8 days from now. So guys, just get geared up for this experience, and hopefully you guys are really gonna enjoy the best of the best in here onto this channel. And I would love to obviously send my my gratitude to everyone watching it through and continue to subscribe to this channel, because we are really moving huge and fast, and we've gone ahead to hit 21,400 subscribers. And you know, to it that after that milestone set, we go to the next milestone, and the next milestone is hitting 21,000 subscribers, 500. So guys, let's continue to subscribe if you're already watching us in here and you haven't really done the due diligence to obviously do the needful and really take us to the next level. And we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslim. Barakallahu fikum. Tomorrow it's a Juma Kareem. Hope you guys flock those mosques as expected in the year. Now, where should we start from? I call upon for 300 likes to be smashed on this video. And now, let's obviously start off with Bruno Guimarães speaking out on his transfer links to Arsenal. He said, "My future, I'm under contract at Newcastle. I'm very happy. I don't know what's going to happen with the financial fair play, but I can say I'm very happy. It's nice to see my name linked with big clubs. It means I'm doing my job well, but I'm not worried. I'm happy at Newcastle. We'll see what happens." Now, if you compare this speech of Bruno Guimarães to that of Isak, you saw to it that Isak is like sending us a message that he's going to leave the side of Newcastle. First and foremost, he's talking about the financial fair play. And we all know that it's known in favor of Newcastle, and Newcastle have a lot to do to see to it that they keep themselves into the ilk of obviously taking themselves to the next level of really solving this problem, because they need to sell players. They need to sell players. If not, they might find themselves losing out points like Everton and Nottingham Forest did lose points in the previous season. And there are teams that are really expected to sell players before the 30th to obviously balance up the equation. And guys, if you bleach the Premier League financial fair play rules, they don't affect you that season. They affect you the next season, because you get trimmed off points, and Newcastle wouldn't like to be those high to obviously see themselves really losing points. And that's why a team like Arsenal, it's like in its comfort zone. You know, they are putting out stories that we are in for Yusuf Fofana, we are in for Onana, we are in for Zubimendi, we are in for Douglas Luiz, name it, because they know that Newcastle is in a weak stance of negotiation. I tell you that Newcastle is in a weak stance of negotiation, because they are financial fair play bound to really sell these players. And one of the players they want to release is obviously Bruno Guimarães, because for him, he has a release clause and £100 million is. and looks like Man City are really edging Arsenal into this transfer. But Bruno Guimarães has also gone ahead, obviously coming through, and obviously hinted onto what we call him being happy linked to Arsenal and other teams. Now, if a player tells you that he's happy being linked to other teams, that means he wants the move. Obviously, if he never wanted to obviously give us hope that he's ready for the next move, this guy would have gone ahead, obviously come up and say, I'm really happy at Newcastle, and all the rest is background noise. But he's really giving us a talking point onto what we should really build onto our foundation, linking him all the way from Newcastle to either Arsenal, Liverpool, or Manchester City. So you see how these players are really pre-programmed by their agents. And he was speaking the TNT Sport, and TNT is in the US, right? TNT is in the US, and it being in the US, it has come to our notice that they've gone ahead, obviously put in a very good interview onto this guy, and the agent was like, they are going to ask you this question, meaning that it was really set very well, and the results are really paying on madly, according to me, because if you look at how things are really panning out right now, it is obviously one of those moments that you have to obviously come in through and recognize that it was a well-set interview. And he's saying he's happy at Newcastle, but him being happy at Newcastle has really put him into a situation of really talking about the following hints: that he's happy that big teams like Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool, Manchester United are really talking about him. So any player will get excited. I tell you, any player will get excited, and that excitement will either be held inside or be brought to the public eye. When you look at Alexander Isak, he kept that excitement inside, because if Arsenal is interested in you and Alexander Isak, and they wanted to sign you to Real Sociedad, and they backed out of the move, they went in for Gabriel Jesus, and now they are back, you'll be excited that now they failed to get me at £68 million. Now they should get me for like double or triple a price. And he never really hinted about it, but he knows internally that he's really excited. But for Bruno Guimarães, what makes him differ from this guy is that for him, he has come out and told us that he's really excited to what is happening right now into the side of into the side of Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man City trying to obviously sign him. And obviously, he knows to it that it's high time he moved. That is it. If he never wanted to move away from Newcastle, there would have been no reason as to why he put out a buyout clause, and he is really very ready for movement. And for a player like him to obviously put out a statement like that, it's really very giving what we call positive energy to the side of Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. So we wait and see how that is going to pan out, but he's excited for these links. And what does it make? Or what does it mean to you as Arsenal fans? I've already said that if I don't have Arsenal, my biggest position to address would have gone to be the midfield, a right attacking midfielder, and a centre forward. And God might help Arsenal to obviously get in Benjamin Sesko for just £55 million. Now, if you get in Benjamin Sesko for £55 million, I think you can risk it all out to go in for Guimarães for 100, and that is 155. Then you go in for a player to come in through and compete with Bukayo Saka for like £50 million, taking it to 200, because the other one is 155 to 205. Add on the money to buy David Raya, obviously it takes it almost 240 million pounds, and we wait to see what budget Arsenal has to spend on its players. I'm just eagerly waiting to see how that is obviously going to come out, and really see how they are going to really spend it. But on the other hand, like I said yesterday, they have options: Zubimendi and Onana Ahmadu. You can get both of them at a price you would have gone ahead to get in Bruno Guimarães. You understand? So the contemplation is still there, but Bruno Guimarães is showing his urge to obviously leave the side of Newcastle, and his appetite is high, So whoever triggers that buyout clause, I'll be here to let you know where Bruno Guimarães is going to be playing from. And with effect from tomorrow, I'm going to be dropping you videos on how all these players linked to Arsenal can fit into the side of Arsenal. So, that is it for Bruno Guimarães. He's excited for being linked to Arsenal, Man City, and Liverpool. That is it. Now, there is Wataru Endo, a player that came in throughout Liverpool and went ahead to put in a very huge shift. And we all know his work he did. And I think there are like 3 or 4 games that Liverpool lost when Wataru Endo was in that midfield. And I think for the amount of money they got him for, it was 20 million euros, like 18, 17 million pounds. He was an absolute skill, though age is not on his side. But in this era, we all know that at the age of 30, someone has some 5 serious years to be playing at the top levels or top elite levels of football, if at all he puts in a very good shift. Now, this is David Lynch, football journalist, reporting for Liverpool FC, for the Evening Standard, the Mirror, and the Manchester Evening News and the Goal. He told us that Wataru Endo is very happy at Liverpool and would absolutely be determined to fight for his place should the club sign another defensive midfielder this summer. Now, it remains to be seen whether Ancelotti will obviously come up and really put in what we call a pursuit of another CDM. But Bruno Guimarães, the man in question, has been linked to Liverpool, and it shows you that maybe they want to get in a CDM. But Wataru Endo, I think, will enjoy game time because Liverpool will obviously be playing in the Champions League, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, and the Premier League. And he's not going to be playing into any tournament apart from playing the World Cup qualifiers. I think they're going to be playing like two games with Japan. Then he'll go out and really rest. After resting, he will return fresh. And remember, if they sign in Bruno Guimarães, Brazil is expected to obviously play until maybe the semi-finals of the Copa America. And in so doing, they will find themselves in a position of not having him early enough, meaning that Wataru Endo will be there. I think Paulinho is another one, and is with Portugal, linked to Liverpool. So whichever CDM Liverpool is going to be looking at, we are waiting to see how he'll come in through and really compete with Wataru Endo. But Wataru Endo had a very good season, and we look at his stats, I think every manager will be looking at him as some of those players that he can really build his side on into the mix. So that is Wataru Endo for you. Now, obviously, after that, let me rush you through into the squad of England. Dean Henderson, Jordan Pickford, Aaron Ramsdale. Those are the 3 goalkeepers. And Aaron Ramsdale for Arsenal has gone ahead to make it there. Defenders, Lewis Dunk, Joe Gomez, Mark Gahey, Eric Konsa, Luke Shaw, John Stones, Kylian Trippier, and Kyle Walker. Then midfielders, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Conor Gallagher, Kobbie Mainoo, Declan Rice, and Adam Wharton, that is it. Then forwards, we are having Jude Bellingham, Gerard Bowen, Ebelechi Eze, Phil Foden, Anthony Gordon, Harry Kane, Carl Palmer, Bukayo Saka, Ivan Toney, and Ollie Watkins. That is the final squad for the side of England, of the team of England, that is obviously going to come up and really take on the likes of Germany, Portugal, and very many others to obviously compete for the Euros down in Germany. As I've told you, very soon I'm going to be coming up with what we call my favorites to win this tournament in there. Now, Southgate on James Madison and Jack Grealish out of the England squad. He said Madders and Jack both give us something different. So it was a tough call. Both of those boys are fantastic characters and great teammates. Obviously, they couldn't compete with Carl Palmer because who gets these players out of the team? It's Carl Palmer and Gerard Bowen, Ebelechi Eze, and they've had better seasons than them, and the other people are going to elevate their game to the next level. And the most important bit of it all is that these players are really injury prone, I tell you. These players are injury prone. You understand? They are injury prone players. I'm talking about Jack Grealish and James Madison. And this season, they've gone ahead to be injury-prone players. So that obviously closes us down to the levels of really having this side taking on the positions that Jack Grealish and James Madison would have gone ahead to take on. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I call upon for your reactions onto Bruno Guimarães coming out and obviously asserting that he's excited for his links, Arsenal transfer links, excite Bruno Guimarães, you know. Then what do you make about Wataru Endo? Do you think he's really gonna come out, obviously be one of those that he will stand out into the team of the new manager of Liverpool, that is Ancelotti? And lastly, what are your thoughts about, or what are your thoughts or reservations about the 26 official man squad named by Gary Southgate that is taking to the side of Germany? Do you think it will lift that trophy for Liverpool, for England? May the living to God bless you abundantly. The Muslims, Barakallahu Fikum. Tomorrow is a Juma Kareem, third video of the day. We are action-packed. More is really coming under your way. Stay tuned onto this channel.